You will find in your packet this yellow folder that has quite a bit about how to make your voice, have your voice heard at the legislature. And it is a how to do with lobbying. And I forgot my prop, but I'm not going to go back and get it. You can read this, and I'm just going to point out a few of the major points that you need to remember. That when you go to lobby, you either do it in two ways. You come sometimes as official league representative, and if you are the official league representative, then make sure you have on, and I left this on a pin that says something that I'm the league, so that they know you're there representing the league. These housing and food services sometimes prevent other things that are more expensive. Like if you can keep a family in a home, they're not going to disintegrate and go in different directions. Mom and the kids and dad to go find a job and the older kids out in the street. So you want to prevent that from happening, and sometimes if just paying somebody's rent for a month or two keeps them stable, that's money well spent.
There are 14 natural resource agencies. And besides the natural resource agencies, there is, frankly, the budget. What's important for me is tell your personal story. What do you know about these agencies in your backyard that they do for you? Does somebody report algae blooms? Do you have sewer issues that somebody takes care of on the coast? Does the Department of Agriculture test your cattle? Whatever. But tell your personal story and why those agencies are important to you.
For public schools, I don't think I need to tell any of you how important that is. And there is now the opportunity to have it voted on by the citizens to see whether or not we can get more money for schools by changing what Measure 5 did almost 30 years ago. No, 20 years ago. But it seems like 30. And it's very important that in this climate that the legislators understand that we need to give more money to the schools. If you don't have it at the state level, then maybe we should try to do our own personal stuff in our own communities. And that's what you need to talk about with them on HJR 14.
Just to understand not only the complexity but the difficulty that goes on in just the mapping and moving of the population. And so we have, how can the public participate? We have, the committees are currently involved in 12 field hearings right now. We are heading south to the southern coast this weekend to Medford and Coos Bay. We have worked hard at making sure we touch as many people in the state as possible, so we've added the component of video conferencing at all of our locations that are at a distance. So we are actually going to be able to hit 28 of the 36 counties, have an opportunity for 28 of the 36 counties to participate in redistricting. And where the 8 counties we are not able to attend, we've made sure that there is a location that they can go to, whether video conference or where the committee is going to be at, that is a reasonable driving distance. We wanted to make sure we were as accessible to the public and to all Oregonians as possible. So we do encourage people to come to those hearings or provide written testimony.
As Aaron had mentioned, Oregon's population count as of December 15th was 3,831,074 people. That's 12% growth rate. For redistricting, that means that we're going to divide the population by the districts, whether it's congressional, senate, or legislative. For the congressional district, the new target population that we have to achieve is 766,215. For the Senate, 127,702. And for the House, 63,850.
You know, the Secretary of State's the keeper of Oregon's history, the auditor of all public accounts, the first stop for businesses in Oregon, and the state's chief elections officer. So our legislative priorities are all focused on those 4 major areas, and in particular, sort of the vision that Kate has brought to the office is innovating for the future, delivering results, and engaging Oregonians. So that's sort of the frame that we approach both our legislative agenda and also our administrative agenda.
And what's the, you know what the recommendation that economists always have about taxes? You know what that is? Broad-based, low rates. Because low rates have the least discouraging effect on economic behavior. The point being that the tax credits are only one element of tax expenditures, and that is the focus of where the legislature has gone now with the review process. But I think that those that have designed this process, have been working on it, would see it as having potential implications for the future in other areas of tax expenditures. We do have a bill that was drafted that probably not going to go too far, but a bill that would look at property tax exemptions and begin to sunset process there. And so that would be kind of a next step, which would be a major step.